Tens of hundreds of dollars spent on Hunger Games books and merchandise. Reading the book series multiple times over. Watching the latest movies in the theaters day of release. Raving to everyone about how amazing this series is. And Suzanne Collins has the audacity to try to create this book. I'm just saying. Hello friends, my name is Lauren and welcome back to my channel. So as you know from the title, today I'm going to be talking about my thoughts on The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins, coming out later this year in a couple months. And in case you couldn't tell from this intro, I have some things I want to say. We know about 5 main things about this book. We know the name, the cover, the protagonist, the synopsis, and movie details. And so today I kind of wanted to discuss everything that has been put out there in the world and my thoughts on it. So maybe once the book comes out or as we get closer to the release, more information will come out that will make me like the book more. But as it stands right now, my hopes are pretty low. Anywho, let's get started with point number 1, the name. Now, when this piece of information was originally released, I think it was one of the first pieces of information we got, I thought it was really ugly. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Very few book covers need like 6 words in the title. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, yeah. Because like if you can't get your point across in like max 4 words, I think you need to rethink this title. Because if you're trying to explain it to someone or someone's trying to type it out, it takes a lot of effort to type out The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes when you could just say like Songbirds and Snakes, or The Ballad, or I don't even know what other name it would be, but I don't like the name. My guess is that the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, the protagonist we know, which we'll talk about later, is going to be the snake, and then the songbird is going to be someone that changes their perspective. As of right now, we don't know because the book isn't out. But when I first heard the name, I was like, ew, this is disgusting. Why did they call it this? So I'm interested to read the book and figure out why they decided to name the book the name they did. Secondly, the cover. These two kind of go really hand in hand because they were released at like the same time. So this is the cover. If you can look me in the eyes and tell me this cover looks nice, leave. Just leave now. I saw this cover get released and I first off heard the ugly name and I was like, ew, this is disgusting, but let's look at the cover. The covers of Hunger Games have always been beautiful. Like can you see, I don't know if you can see these, but these are beautiful. All the other editions of the Hunger Games, beautiful, we love them. And then this comes along. These green and black like circle stripe things, this like deformed Mockingjay circle looking thing. I don't know what they were thinking. I'm just not on the same page with whoever designed the cover because I think it's so ugly and I'm not sure what significant it is going to draw from the actual like storyline, because my only guess is that there's like jabberjays and mockingbirds that make whatever this bird is on the cover. Unless that's mentioned in the story, I don't think it's going to be significant at all to the series. And at least in the main Hunger Games trilogy, there's a purpose behind putting a Mockingjay on each of the covers because it is Katniss's iconic symbol. However, if Katniss isn't in the book, like, I don't understand why this is on the cover. Number 3 for things we know is the protagonist. Now, if you are like a general fan of the Hunger Games or paid attention at all before like when this book was coming out, before the information got released, people wanted this book to be about Mags because this book takes a place during the 10th Hunger Games and we thought, hey, Mags would be alive during then, maybe we follow her perspective in the story. And that would be so cool because then we get someone from like the original cast of the Hunger Games in like a prequel story. So I think that would be so cool. And then we get the news that the protagonist is I don't even know how to say his name, bro. Like Coriolanus. Coriolanus. That's disgusting. Coriolanus Snow, aka President Snow, the stupid, ugly person from the beginning of the series. And I feel like I have a similar opinion to many of those in the fandom. I don't want the story of the bad guy. A lot of the times the story of the bad guy can be really interesting or add a new perspective, but he's such a villain in the Hunger Games trilogy that I don't want any sympathy for him. I don't want any sympathy for why he feels the way he feels because I don't feel his childhood activities will impact him and how he views Katniss in the future. Because let's just jump into the synopsis, shall we? Because he is paired up with a District 12 girl, the lowest of the low, to help her win the Hunger Games, the 10th Hunger Games. And I feel that is so like cliche in a way. Like, of course he's gonna be put against with someone from District 12, the girl, and then it's gonna relate to Katniss in the future. Like, I feel like that doesn't make any sense for that to actually like work and for him to be so angry all his life at the District 12 female tribute and then for like, I feel like his motives were plain as a day in the trilogy. Like, I don't understand why we need more backstory on this. Let's take a look at the synopsis, shall we? Ambition will fuel him, competition will drive him, but power has its price. It is the morning of the reaping that will kick off the 10th annual Hunger Games. In the capital, 18-year-old 𝘾𝙤𝙧𝙞𝙤𝙬𝙞 Snow is preparing for his one shot at glory as a mentor in the games. The once mighty House of Snow has fallen on hard times, its fate hanging on the slender chance that Cornelius will be able to outcharm, outwit, and outmaneuver his fellow students to enter the winning tribute. The odds are against him. He's been given the humiliating assignment of mentoring the female tribute from District 12, the lowest of the low. Their fates are now completely intertwined. Every choice Cornelius makes could lead to favor or failure, triumph or ruin. Inside the arena, it will be a fight to the death. Outside the arena, Cornelius starts to feel for his doomed tribute and must weigh his need to follow the rules against his desire to survive no matter what it takes. So essentially, this man gets paired up with the female District 12 tribute to help her win the games. And from the excerpt we got that was posted, I'll put it out in the description if you want to read it. Basically, he was given to her, and basically in their school, like if they want to do well, this is like one of their final steps in their training or whatever, they have to help someone win the Hunger Games, and he gets paired with the female District 12 tribute. And I'm just like I said, it makes no sense at all. Like, I feel like that's such a forced thing to talk about in the past. Like, man, he got paired with the female tribute from District 12. No wonder he hates her later on down the road. I'm just disappointed, you know? As a big fan of the Hunger Games myself, I feel like there could have been so much more to explore, okay? Because this Hunger Games does really revolve around just coming after the Dark Ages. There's a quote from Suzanne Collins, and it says, "With this book, I wanted to explore the state of nature, who we are, and what we perceive is required for our survival. The Reconstruction period 10 years after the war, commonly referred to as the Dark Ages, as the country of Panem struggles to get back onto its feet, provides fertile ground for characters to grapple with these questions and therefore define their views of humanity." With that quote in mind, I 100% agree. I think exploring something around the Dark Ages time would be such a cool story to understand and discover. But just from this point alone, I don't want any kind of redemption for President Snow. I think he's done many bad things in his lifetime, and I don't think he deserves that redemption. Like, I don't want to know what he did at 18 years old, because he took whatever he did at 18 years old and turned to that guy. Like, I don't want to know that story. I also think it's really stupid just to include the District 12 tribute, but like, I don't understand how that connects yet. And also, I think if we followed anyone else's perspective, it would have been cooler. Like, I understand the drive of connecting it to someone from the original cast, but I think you could have chosen Megs, or like Katniss's great-grandfather, or someone. Just not him, because no one wants his story. We like him as the villain because everything he's done has made him the villain. It makes sense, and he follows the narrative quite well. I know a lot of times people want the opposite point of view, and I agree as well. I think the opposite point of view is an amazing side, but for whatever reason, President Snow is the one person I don't want as the main protagonist of this prequel. This book is over 600 pages. Do I really want to read a book all about him for 600 pages? Anyways, lastly on this list is the movie. Now, I found this quote online that I want to share, and it says, "As the proud home of the Hunger Games movies, we can hardly wait for Suzanne's next book to be published. We've been communicating with her during the writing process, and we look forward to continuing to work closely with her on the movie." And that's from the chairman of the Lionsgate Motion Picture Group. So I think what we can take away from that is that if this book is successful, it can be turned into a movie, and it could possibly be because they have been working with her. As to if it will actually happen, we don't know, but I'm honestly interested to see another Hunger Games movie, because even if the book is trash, am I still gonna watch it? Yes. But anyways, I overall have pretty negative thoughts towards this book. Nothing has really excited me about it. I already pre-ordered the book though, so I am fully gonna read it because it is another book in the series that I really do love, and I just want to see what happens, and maybe I will love it. However, I will also say one more final thing. On Indigo, the book retails for $37. And I don't want to say this book is a cash grab, but if you're selling a book for $37, that sounds like a cash grab. It was on sale for like $30 now, but that's still so much more money than you would spend normally on a hardcover book. They normally range for like young adult novels, maximum like $25. So, I don't know. I don't have high hopes for this book, to be honest. The Hunger Games trilogy forever will be amazing, but I'm not really sure I can count on this book that I can say the same. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and comment down below what your thoughts are on the Hunger Games prequel book coming out, because I know for one that my opinions are pretty negative. Anyways, once this book comes out, I will do like a full review on the actual book itself. Hopefully, at least. Anyways, that's the plan. So I'm hoping my opinions will be more positive once it actually comes out. But at this point in time, I don't really know what to say. But anyways, I will see you all very soon in a new video. So until then, bye.